Let's drop the textbook philosophy for a second and talk like real people. I look at your modern world and honestly, it's a total mess of bad data. Everyone is exhausted. Inflation is eating your paycheck, and these internet gurus are trying to sell you the law of attraction. They tell you, just visualize it, manifest it, send good vibes to the universe, and a Lamborghini will just pop out of thin air. As the guy who literally invented the rules of logic and metaphysics, let me tell you the absolute truth. That whole manifesting trend is a scam. It's a trick designed to keep you broke and waiting. It's what I call a cargo cult. You're trying to copy the look of success without actually building the machinery inside. When you're sitting there desperately trying to attract money, what is your brain actually doing? You're focusing entirely on what you don't have. You are broadcasting the frequency of lack. Your mind is stuck in a loop. I'm broke, I'm stressed, prices are going up, but please, universe, make me rich. In my work, I prove that matter is passive and form is active. Your state of lack is like a black hole. It's an empty void trying to suck in reality, but its actual volume is zero. And by the laws of quantum physics and resonance, the chaotic noise of lack can only attract one thing: more scarcity. The universe is just obeying your deep-down code. You lose the game before you even start because your signal is fake. Let's replace that mystical nonsense with a hard, technical blueprint. True abundance isn't a number in your bank app. It is the density of ordered information held inside your brain. The physical world isn't made of hard blocks. It's an ocean of quantum fields reacting to your focus. But the field doesn't care about your wishes. It reacts strictly to two things: order and mass. Think about the Weizmann Institute experiments from 1998. Physicists proved that when they turned on a high-precision detector to observe a stream of chaotic particles, those particles instantly stopped acting like random waves and snapped into a solid, structured pattern. Observation is an active physical force. It literally bends reality into shape. And then look at Landauer's principle, which was recently backed up by physicists like Melvin Vopson. They proved that information actually has physical weight. Every time you clear out mental noise and create absolute order, you increase the physical mass of your system. A single bit of information actually weighs around 10 to the power of minus 38 kilograms. Here is the ultimate conclusion. When you master complex, high-value skills, whether it's system architecture, advanced coding, cryptography, or deep financial mechanics, you aren't just getting an education. You are literally packing physical mass into your mind. Every piece of high-tier technology you master makes your internal code heavy. And according to Einstein's general relativity, a heavy object warps the space-time fabric around it. True wealth happens when you stop chasing transactions. Instead, the very geometry of your field forces financial flows to slide right into your pocket. The doors of the system open not because you wished for it, but because resisting an object with that much mental mass becomes physically impossible for the environment. The law of the worn door, the math of dominance. The biggest mistake people make in this generation is thinking that one bad break or a failed project means the universe is against them. A setback isn't a final judgment, it's just data, it's just feedback. In a world of probabilities, nothing yields to passive waiting. The quantum field demands what programmers call proof of work. This is governed by a mathematical rule called the law of large numbers. If you only try a couple of times, your life looks like a chaotic sequence of bad luck and inflation. But if you keep executing consistently, relentlessly, the math guarantees that the chaos will eventually smooth out into a strict law of success. I call this the law of the worn door. If you strike the door of the financial system monolithically, repeatedly, with the cold precision of an emotionless processor, the system is mathematically forced to open up. Think about it through the Le Chatelier principle of physics. When you put massive, continuous pressure on an environment, the environment has to shift its balance to relieve that pressure. It yields the resource just to get its peace back. It opens the door because you literally wore it down through sheer friction. But the real magic happens inside your own code. The first 50 times you try, you're nervous, you look like a beggar, and your signal is sloppy. By the 500th time, all the hesitation is burned away. Your movements are hyper-efficient, your speech is brief, and your gaze is totally frozen. Your internal spin has changed. The locks of the system finally recognize you as the master, and the barrier simply dissolves. Knowing how the system works and failing to execute is a total toxin to your brain. It creates an internal glitch that burns up your energy and useless overthinking. Weight is only generated when potential energy turns into praxis, into real, physical, external work. Act 4. Shift the dial to the giver of order. To step into a life of absolute abundance in a world that's constantly trying to drain you, you have to flip the switch in your brain. Move away from being a seeker of sensations, someone chasing quick dopamine, cheap status, and instant gratification, and become the giver of order. First, apply the quantum eraser to your deficits. Stop checking your bank balance every hour and obsessing over what you lack. When you constantly monitor your scarcity, you are using what quantum physics calls the Zeno effect to freeze your poverty in place. You look at the void and you lock it in. Turn your eyes away from the pit. Your past failures do not dictate your current trajectory. The remote control of your life is anchored inside you, not in the market. Your value is built in. Second, load heavy software when your mind is quiet. If your life is currently in a calm or isolated phase, that is a massive gift. It is a sterile operating room. While everyone else is burning their brains out chasing validation on Instagram, you need to use this quiet time for laser-focused data absorption. Master things that have real weight. Advanced capital systems, algorithmic networks, deep tech. Build mass in total silence. Don't post about it. Flexing is for the empty. The architect doesn't care about the opinion of the crowd. Third, pour your excess order into physical matter. Do your job, your studies, and your code with absolute, terrifying perfection, not to impress anyone, but simply because sloppy work is insulting to who you are. Turn your chaos into cosmos. Write clean code, automate your tasks, and lock your intentions into unyielding daily action. Jealousy and anxiety completely evaporate the moment you realize you aren't a consumer anymore. You are a producer of meaning. You are building for the long haul. And when the density of your internal order crosses that critical threshold, a massive phase transition occurs. You just wake up one day in a reality where your gravitational field has pulled in both real capital and high-value connections. While the rest of the world is fracturing under its own chaos, you remain completely calm at the center of the cyclone. You become the law.